Sleeps Matter. Chapter 4. Caffeine Curfew. Caffeine is a powerful nervous system stimulant. If your nervous system is lit up like a Christmas tree, you can forget about getting high quality sleep. The reality is, people like coffee. This is what it is. We just have to learn how to navigate our consumption of coffee and other caffeinated goodies to make sure that we're still getting the best sleep possible. A study published in the Journal of Clinical Sleep Medicine shares some critical insight about the effect of caffeine on sleep that you need to know about. The lead author of the study, Christopher Drake, Associate Professor of Psychiatry and Behavioral Neurosciences at Wayne State University, says drinking a big cup of coffee on the way home from work can lead to negative effect on sleep, just as if someone were to consume caffeine close to bedtime. What the study discovered was that participants given caffeine at different times, immediately before bed, 3 hours before bed, and 6 hours before bed, all showed significant measurable disruption in their sleep. What this means is that not only it is not a good idea to have caffeine right before bedtime, but having a cup of coffee or caffeinated tea even as much as 6 hours before bed can cause sleep trouble. What's fascinating about this study is that sleep disturbance were measured in two ways: objectively by means of a sleep monitor used at home, and subjectively from diaries kept by the participant. When the participant consumed caffeine 6 hours before bedtime, they had a measurable objective loss of 1 hour of sleep, shown via sleep monitor. The crazy part is that the participant didn't note any subjective difference with their sleep in their sleep journal, even though they physiologically lost sleep because of the caffeine. They didn't consciously know it at first. This is how the viscous cycle of sleep deprivation gets started. Not getting enough deep sleep due to caffeine consumption inevitably makes us more tired. Being tired makes us want more caffeine, and extra consumption of caffeine will, in turn, make our sleep problem worse. We got to have a strategy to break this viscous cycle to ensure that we're getting the sleep our bodies deserve. Living the half-life. So here's the real deal about caffeine. First of all, the place that caffeine comes from are typically delicious. Coffee, chocolate, tea. Not only are they tasty, but caffeine also have a natural affinity with the human body. It can really get our body and mind in a positive place. This is why caffeine can be so addictive. Caffeine doesn't give you energy in the way that most people believe. All day, every day, while you're awake, neurons in your brain are firing and producing a neurotransmitter byproduct known as adenosine. Please understand, adenosine is more than a simple waste product. Your nervous system is constantly monitoring for adenosines in your body, because once the level raises to a certain point in your brain and spinal cord, your body starts to nudge you to go to sleep, or at least to relax. Then in comes the caffeine. Caffeine has the unique ability to fit into receptor site in your body for adenosines because it's so structurally similar to the real thing. Normally, when your receptor sites are filled with real adenosines, your body shifts into rest mode. The issue with caffeine going into the receptor is that it simply sits there like a distant relative overstanding the stay on your couch. It doesn't actually turn on function like adenosines would to make you tired. As a result, your brain and body are still trucking along and you don't realize that you're actually sleepy. Pretty cool in some ways, but hopefully you can see where this could become a big problem. Your body is still producing more and more adenosines because of all the awake activities you are doing, but it never gets properly metabolized. Due to this, your body literally has to change the way it normally functions. Stress hormone levels increase in your system, and your brain and organs get overworked because they aren't getting the accurate cue to rest and recover. Because of caffeine's long-term effect, it can take several days for its aftermath to wear off. Caffeine has a half-life of around 5 to 8 hours, depending upon your unique biochemical makeup. Half-life essential means that after a specific amount of time, say 8 hours, half of the substance is still active in your system. So, using the 8-hour half-life as an example, if you consume 200 milligrams of caffeine after 8 hours, you would have half of it in your system, or 100 milligrams. After another 8 hours, you have 50 milligrams. Another 8 hours, it would be 25, and so on. This is why having caffeine even 6 hours out from bedtime still causes sleep disturbance in the study. The real trouble is millions of people aren't just having one serving of caffeine, they are having many. We also don't realize when we pick up the habit that our body becomes jaded to the energizing benefit of caffeine. This can happen in as little as 12 days. So, what do we do when we don't notice a strong or consistent enough burst? We drink more, of course. The reality is, caffeine is a powerful stimulant, and it can be a wonderfully pleasant part of our life if we respect it as such. We need to rewire our body to use it on a regular, yet cyclical basis so that we can really get the most bang for the buck. We know now how caffeine works and the deleterious effect it can have on our sleep. Now here's some tips to help ensure that caffeine works for you and not against you. Smart Caffeine Power Tip 1. Set an unbreakable caffeine curfew to make sure your body has time to remove the majority of it from your system. For most people, it's generally going to be before 2 p.m., but if you're really sensitive to caffeine, then you might want to make your curfew even earlier, or possibly avoid caffeine altogether. Smart Caffeine Power Tip 2. Caffeine can be used strategically to enhance fat loss. If used in the right way, you'll get more information on this upcoming soon. That said, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater and negate the potential benefit of caffeine. To maximize your body use and benefit from caffeine, it has to be cycled. There are several ways of going about this. I'm just going to share with you three. 1. Go on Tuesday and 3 days off. If a healthy, non-addicted person is using caffeine, it can be cleared from your system